Okay, so it's cold out here. It's like 30 degrees with the wind chill is like 27, 26 maybe. The wind's blowing a little bit. So I got to do this. I'm not taking my shirt off. No. But I have it close enough. All right, I got my hat. All right, let's do it. All right, let's take a look at the Easy Camp image tent. £7.18, 25 inches, by 7. So these are not aluminum stakes. This is where most of the weight of the tent comes from. These are thick metal poles. I think it's kind of an overkill. This is a crossbar. So essentially, we'll crawl into the tent, put this bar through the hole, put that post through the hole of the top of the tent on the inside, and then we'll come back to the door and do the same thing there. That gives the tent the loft. I'm kind of thinking, if you wanted to use this tent, you know, say backpacking or just lighten a load, if you wanted to, you could do away with all these and just take the trekking poles. And the only thing is you would not have, you know, this top cross pole going all the way across. This is going to require quite a few stakes, and it comes with very small tent stakes, very thin, flimsy, very flimsy. So that is definitely one of the knocks for Easy Camp tents. They make some great tents, but they just don't give you all the extra quality, extra items such as tent stakes. These that look like some kind of game piece. I forget what that name of that game is. Anyway, I'll show you where those go later. I'm gonna put those in my pocket so I don't lose them. We're gonna stake out the four corners, get the tent spread out, stake it out, and then we'll get the poles put in, and then finish staking everything else out. Alright, let's do that. Alright, so here is the grommet for the pole here. I'm going to go ahead and stick this one in. Well, I need to put this in first. Down the center to the other side. Put that through there. And then put that there. Okay. Now this end of the pole has a rubber cap. It just goes right on the floor of the tent. Right here. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and guy these out. That way this front will stay held up. Okay, let's take a look at the outside of the Easy Camp 2-person image tent. So the image is somebody peeing on my tent. It's not very nice. Alright, so I don't have it all got out, so we're just taking a quick sneak peek of this tent here. That's pretty good imaging though. I mean, got the rock bed there, some grasses, twigs, somebody peeing on my tent. Now I did an image along with this, picture, snapshot if you will, and I try to mock this image here. I happen to have green shorts like that, but it was 30 degrees outside and I wasn't about to take my shirt off, and I'm not as lean as that dude is. But I did have a cardboard box hat on, and I did that just for y'all. 30 degrees, huh? Yeah, that deserves a like on my video here, doesn't it? Alright, so on the back the image does continue, and we have a roof vent. We got a torsion bar here, help hold that vent open. Now if you see right here, there's some holes right there. This is not the best quality tent from Easy Camp. This is a fair weather kind of fun tent is what this is. This one is not meant to, you know, ride out your rainstorms and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. But also, this tent was only 10 bucks. We're gonna leave a link to this tent. It's I bought it through campsaver.com. So in the description box down below, you can click on that link if you want to check them out. There's 3 other images. They're kind of just fun, fair weather tents. All right, let's finish taking a look here. So you do get 4 guy out points. Oh, let me show you these little, I still can't remember the name of that. It's like 4 different colors, 4-person player. Kind of looks like these little, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe I'll remember and I'll add it in on the thing. So these go right there. That helps with any kind of moisture that may precipitate down on your tent. But as you saw, some of the seams around the Velcro closures, things like that, were not the best. Now the main seams of the tent are tape sealed, so they are going to be waterproof somewhat. And the tent material has been treated along with the floor, so in essence it is pretty water resistant. But I had this tent in a light rain for about a half a day, and I did have a couple of puddles of water in there. Alright, let's take a look at the door here, the entrance. Okay, so this is a single wall tent, but the entrance, there's 3 layers. You have the outer door, alright, and then you have this wind break barrier, and then you have the bug net. And all that is zippable. The bug net zips all the way across, down the middle, so you know, completely closes out. This one just zips down the middle, and same with this, it zips down the middle. Alright, so let's go in and take a look. So you see how these poles just go right on the floor of the tent there. So if you're climbing into this tent, you got to remember that pole's right there. If not, you'll hit that pole and you could possibly collapse your tent on yourself. There's Riley. Well, come on in, Riley dog. Come on in. Want to come over here and lay down? want to lay down? You just want to sit down? We're going to do some measuring. You want to measure your snout? No. But this is a two-person tent. It is fairly roomy. It's just you have these poles to contend with, especially this one here, because the back of the tent angles out, slopes outwards, you know, so that creates this pole is going to be kind of in the center of things over here. But this will fit a normal air pad, you know, a single person air pad, and then you can put one on the other side. Okay, let's get a width of the tent. So we're at 66 inches wide. That's pretty wide for a two-person tent. So like I said, it's roomy enough for two people. It's just a little cumbersome with this pole. That pole there is not so bad. You just have to remember it as you're exiting and entering, especially at night. Coming in here, you forget about that pole, you're like, oh crap. All right, let's get a length. Okay, 98 inches long. All right, let's get a peak height. And then we'll show you some of the stuff inside here. All right, so it's 51 inches high for the peak height. That's pretty good. It's a good sized tent. If they'd have paid a little bit more attention to the small minor details, this tent could have been waterproof completely. But there's probably a reason why this tent is selling for 10 bucks. Probably because they didn't pay attention to the fine details. But I'm looking at all the seams. They're all heat tape sealed. It seems kind of a shame to go through that process to do that and then, you know, not take care of all these other little minor areas. Those little minor areas were enough to create a couple of puddles in here. They weren't large puddles. Maybe the biggest one was the size of my palm. But it's enough to, I mean, you don't want your tent getting wet inside. Alright, so here's a look out there. So I had that staked out there, but probably try to go through there and kind of pulled it up. So we're not going to worry about that. We get a little pocket there. I think that's the only pocket. That is the only pocket. And here is that ridge pole going all the way across. You can see the tape there on the seam. And here as well. All those are all tape sealed there. And there's our roof vent in the back. So there's not a whole lot of breathability in this tent. You're really going to have to open those things up and face it towards the breeze. You know, if you're going to get a breeze in here, if you're wanting a breeze in here. So what's cool about this image tent, that is the same view as we have on the outside. So it's like it's double printed. Double printed, right? Yeah. I don't know how I feel about sleeping in here and having a dude standing over me. That might be a little weird. That might be a little weird. Oh well. 10 bucks. It's a fun little tent for 10 bucks. Okay. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go grab the trekking poles. We're gonna see if we can 86 these poles and see if the tent will remain lofted such as, it's probably not gonna be as good as that pole. But man, that's what makes this thing so heavy. Those giant metal poles. Alright, Alright, I got my trekking poles. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Alright, so I went ahead and guyed out the back part of the tent to kind of help hold the structure. So what I'm going to do is, and this is going to be contingent on how well these spikes go through that hole. They may not, I don't know. We're going to try it out and see. Going to try and see. Let's get this to the limit here. We're going to take it to the limit. Just one more time. One pole down. One to go. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't think I'll ever take this tent backpacking. Who knows? You never know. It's just fun just to see what you can do with it. It ain't hurting nothing. Alright. Let's take this one down. Oh, don't hit my head. That's there. Don't hit y'all. Put this there. Ugh. Okay. Wow. That worked better than I thought it would. The tent's going downhill. That actually worked pretty good. When you guy everything out correctly and you put enough tension on those poles, it's lofting pretty good. Now if you got a heavy wind, it's probably not going to perform as well. Man, look at that. These things are, they're not as big as my finger, but that's pretty big poles. Steel. I just poked that guy in the butt. Look at that. Sorry, dude. Also, those little black game pieces, the game board that I still can't. I have one in the house. I'll look at it, and then I can go ahead and put it on the screen what game it is because it's driving me nuts. See here, I can't even talk because I'm sitting there trying to think what the heck that damn game is. Dang game. All right. What was I doing? Oh yeah, let's go out. So before I took the poles out, I took those little game pieces off. Let's go outside and see how much these trekking pole tips go through the grommets. There we go. Is the game I'm thinking of called Sorry? I kind of want to say it is, but I can't really remember. Anyway, so the little points do come through, but not enough to use our game piece. That'll just flicker right off. But like we said, fair weather tent, we don't need those little game rain cap pieces anyway. That tip kind of fills that void up pretty good. And there it is. That tip kind of fills up that void pretty good on its own anyway. And right at the end of that tip, that trekking pole is kind of a rubber grip, so that might kind of seal out the moisture anyway. Okay, so we're not able to latch onto those and guy it out, so that means we don't have to put extra guy wire in our tent. These are sufficient enough. So I don't know, we'll have to take a look at the video before I put the trekking poles in to see how much slack compared to what we have here. I don't know if we have any. Alright, I think that's enough of this tent.